Through the pain and sorrow, we learn to grow. Every step we take, the future starts to show. With dreams ignited, we'll chase the dawn. In this journey of life, we are reborn.
In a world where information moves, faster than we can even process it, and algorithms seem to value controversy over actual clarity, what power does an ordinary person really have?
It's a huge question.
We're constantly, swimming in this overload of data, but sometimes the hardest part isn't the noise. It's the silence.
Exactly.
That moment when a story just vanishes or a key fact seems hidden.
And that feeling, that information gap, that vacuum, that's precisely what we're diving into today. Our whole focus is on the power and the responsibility of the ordinary voice on these digital platforms.
Right.
But before we really jump in, I do want to make something very clear. This discussion is strictly for educational and reflective purposes.
Good point.
We're focusing on the principles of digital citizenship, media literacy, and just ethical participation. So we'll be looking at how information gaps and public discussions shape these civic responses, but we won't be asserting or verifying or concluding anything specific about real-world events or people.
That helps frame it perfectly for a deeper reflection. The source guiding us today is the book Voices for Justice: How Ordinary People Drive Change in a Digital World by Dylan Stone. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
Our mission is to pull out the principles of what the author calls digital justice and really understand how ethical action online can have a real-world impact. Getting past the noise to find some clarity.
And if we start with the definition, digital justice is really just the fairness and equity and accountability in the digital world.
So it's more than just being online.
Oh, much more. It's the idea that technology, these platforms, they have to be used to uphold human dignity and prevent real harm.
That sounds like a necessary evolution of traditional justice, which, as we all know, can be incredibly slow and often pretty inaccessible for most people.
It absolutely is. Traditional justice relies on these big centralized institutions, courts that take forever, or established media with, their own hierarchies. Digital justice is about speed. It's about the accessibility of ordinary people.
Using their collective voice.
Yes, to stand up when someone's reputation is unfairly damaged, or to call for transparency precisely because a power system is, or is at least perceived to be, hiding the truth.
So that shift in power isn't just a theory, it's mechanical.
Yeah.
It used to take courts months, maybe years, to issue a subpoena. But now, a huge online petition can go global in hours. A single viral video can completely shift public attention.
And that's the mechanism right there, that speed. It presents these massive opportunities, but also massive risks.
The opportunity is acceleration. The risk is a rush to judgment.
Precisely.
Which brings us to our first section. We need to connect those essential human rights we sort of take for granted: life, liberty, freedom of speech, a fair trial, the ones recognized back in 1948, to the challenges of today.
And those fundamental rights are now facing these new, almost invisible vulnerabilities. We have digital surveillance, major privacy violations, and crucially, the suppression of free speech online.
And that's not just for activists, right? It can be for anyone.
Anyone. Public figures, regular citizens. Censorship and just barriers to information online can seriously get in the way of anyone trying to seek justice.
So wait, if it's not the government censoring me, but a massive private platform is seen to be suppressing my voice, is that what we mean by digital human rights? How does that work?
That is the core challenge. Exactly. Digital human rights covers freedom of expression online, the right to get information without weird barriers, protection from surveillance, and the basic right to organize and discuss things digitally.
So when a person's whole professional life is tied to their digital presence,
then any perceived censorship or any kind of attack without transparency, it's felt as this profound violation of their dignity.
The source material brings up the public discussion around the situation of actor and singer Yu Long to show just how critical that transparency becomes.
Yes, the discussion around that situation is a key reflection point in the book. You had supporters in the public sphere raising concerns that his career, or maybe his reputation, may have been negatively affected.
And without any clear public explanation.
Right. No visible due process.
So that absence of justification, the information gap.
Yeah.
That's what sparks the public response, isn't it? When someone's visibility just seems to shrink, It forces everyone else to ask these really fundamental questions.
Questions about the right to defend yourself, about the need for transparency, and it doesn't matter who the individual is.
It becomes a universal issue.
Exactly. The source argues the lesson is for everyone. When a potential injustice happens to one person, especially someone who seems to have a clean professional record, it just raises the vulnerability for everybody else. It forces you, the listener, to question the systems.
So if a well-known figure can face these challenges without a clear explanation, what chance does an ordinary person have?
And that perceived lack of options forces people to find new tools.
When the old systems go silent.
And those new tools, of course, they start with the collective voice, which moves us right into Section 2, the power of petitions and digital activism.
It's just wild how much petitions have changed. I mean, they used to be about knocking on doors, getting names on a piece of paper. Now you can get millions of signatures from all over the world instantly.
They've become the central tool for digital justice. Now, they don't replace legal justice, not at all, but they are incredibly good at creating public leverage.
And speed.
The mechanics are simple, but so powerful. They build visibility, they bring together all these different voices, and maybe most importantly, they create a public record.
A record that basically shouts, "This matters to us. We are watching."
And we demand accountability. That public demand is what institutions find very, very hard to ignore.
Can you give us a few more examples from the book?
Yeah.
Ones that show how this visibility really impacts things.
Absolutely. Just think about the scale of the hashtag #MeToo movement. It started with digital shares, with hashtags. It turned private stories into a global reckoning.
It wasn't just about awareness.
No, it was about creating a volume of testimony that forced traditional institutions, companies, governments, universities, to actually conduct reviews and face scrutiny on a scale they never had before.
Or look at the hashtag Free Britney campaign. That movement kept public attention on a legal case in a way that, traditional news coverage just couldn't do on its own.
And it affects powerful corporations, too. The book points to petitions against big companies, like the campaigns opposing Shell Oil's drilling in the Arctic. The sustained digital outcry came right before they decided to end those efforts. It shows that coordinated visibility translates directly into pressure.
Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting and maybe a little scary. Because this collective power comes with a huge ethical weight, doesn't it?
It does.
When you empower millions of voices overnight, you also risk massive error. We're sort of replacing slow courts with instant viral judgment. Is there a risk of getting it wrong?
That is the crucial counter-argument the book gets into. The big challenges of digital justice are things like misinformation, the rapid spread of rumors, the risk of a mob mentality,
Digital outrage turning into harmful attacks before anyone's checked the facts.
So we have to draw a line between just being active and being responsible in that activism.
Okay, so what does that look like?
The book calls it responsible digital activism. It demands critical thinking, integrity. You have to verify before you share, and I mean really verify, trace the source, look for other sources.
And engage with respect.
Yes, even when you're angry. Avoid hateful language. Lead with facts and, frankly, kindness.
The book also makes a great point, distinguishing real action from what people call slacktivism.
Ah, yes, slacktivism, that's an easy feel-good click, right? The single share that doesn't have any real commitment behind it.
What's the alternative?
Real change, the source argues, needs a clear path. It goes from initial awareness to thoughtful conversation, which then builds a community. That community mobilizes for action, and that finally leads to sustained impact.
So it's about consistency and purpose.
You don't have to be a huge influencer. You just have to care enough to take responsible, sustained action.
Let's pivot now, because we're heading into the deepest, most reflective part of the book, Section 3. This is the character dive.
Right.
We're moving beyond the how of activism to the why, to the ethical core of what these public disputes really show us about our society.
And the observation here is it's incredibly profound. The author argues that if a perceived injustice like, say, the alleged suppression of an artist's career without explanation is influenced by structural privilege or private interests, then the discussion has to shift.
Shift away from the specific event.
And towards character education for the next generation.
Okay, why that shift? Why from accountability in one case to character development for everyone?
Because the author suggests the root problem isn't power itself. It's what happens when power is used by, and I'm quoting here, personality without principle.
Personality without principle.
Yeah, think about the corrosive effect if kids with influence grow up learning things like money can fix anything, Or influence means you never have to answer for your actions. Or maybe the most dangerous one, power can silence others without any consequences.
That mindset seems like it would inevitably lead to adults who see other people not as human beings, but as tools.
Yeah.
Or obstacles.
Exactly. You risk raising people who hide mistakes instead of fixing them, who punish anyone who challenges them.
Yeah.
And that creates these corrupt structures where someone's dignity or reputation can just be erased. And the people responsible feel zero guilt because they learn that privilege beats principle every time.
That is a heavy critique. The publisher of the source, Kokushin-san Ltd., actually proposes a new model for education to fight this. What does that look like?
Well, they argue that traditional education often focuses on outcomes that feed the problem. High grades, obedience, social status, and just personal success above everything else. They're all external markers.
So the goal just becomes getting more and more privilege.
Yes. The new personality focus they talk about is entirely internal. It's character-driven. It's about developing emotional intelligence, empathy, understanding your impact and ethical thinking, serving others, and having a real sense of social responsibility.
So it's not about getting rid of ambition.
Not at all. It's about redirecting it. So instead of using your ambition to accumulate power, to dominate, you use your gifts and your privilege to uplift and to help.
That's a powerful idea.
It is. The ultimate lesson from the book is that true power isn't about the ability to destroy or silence. True power is the ability to forgive, to create, to uplift.
So every time silence is used to marginalize someone without explanation,
we risk teaching the next generation that justice is optional.
And the fight for digital justice is then also, in a way, a long-term investment in raising better people. People who value transparency and accountability from the get-go.
It is. It's an investment in making sure that the people who eventually hold institutional power operate with principle.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together then. What is the final takeaway here for our listeners?
I think it's that digital justice is fundamentally protected by people who care enough not to look away. You don't need to be famous. You don't need a ton of resources. You just need curiosity, integrity, and the courage to speak up when you see an information gap.
So every small, responsible action you take, signing a verified petition, sharing accurate info, or just choosing kindness online, it all adds to this global movement for truth.
And the challenge is massive. We know that. We live in a world where information is so complex, where truth gets buried by algorithms, and where silence can be a really potent and damaging form of injustice.
The source encourages us, really, to choose not to stay silent. To be a voice for good, a light in the algorithm, be someone who helps make the internet, and by extension, the world a more just and humane place.
By demanding transparency and modeling accountability yourself.
Right.
Because as the source concludes so clearly, even a whisper can become a wave when enough voices rise together.
Which leaves us with this final thought for you to carry forward. What silence are you prepared to challenge today to ensure justice and transparency for others tomorrow?
Rising from the shadow, finding our way through the storms and trials, we won't sway. With hearts united, we'll face the fight. In the darkest moments, we'll find the light. We are stronger, we are brave. Together we can rise, no longer enslaved. With every heartbeat, with every stride, we'll conquer mountains with hope as our guide. Through the pain and sorrow, we learn to grow. Every step we take, the future starts to show. With dreams ignited, we'll chase the dawn. In this journey of life, we are reborn. We are stronger, we are brave. Together we can rise, no longer enslaved. With every heartbeat, with every stride, we'll conquer mountains with hope as our guide. We'll rise, we'll shine, our spirits soaring high. With hope and strength, we'll touch the sky. In unity, our hearts will sing. Together forever, we'll make the heavens ring. We'll rise, we'll shine, our spirits soaring high. With hope and strength, we'll touch the sky. In unity, our hearts will sing. Together forever, we'll make the heavens ring. Rising from the shadows, finding our way. Through the storms and trials, we won't sway. With hearts united, we'll face the fight. In the darkest moments, we'll find the light. We are stronger, we are brave. Together we can rise, no longer enslaved. With every heartbeat, with every stride, we'll conquer mountains with hope as our guide. Through the pain and sorrow, we learn to grow. Every step we take, the future starts to show. With dreams ignited, we'll chase the dawn. In this journey of life, we are reborn. We are stronger, we are brave. Together we can rise, no longer enslaved. With every heartbeat, with every stride, we'll conquer mountains with hope as our guide. In unity, we'll find our way through the night into the day. With courage in our hearts, we won't back down. Together we'll wear the victor's crown. Rising from the shadows, finding our way. Through the storms and trials, we won't sway. With hearts united, we'll face the fight. In the darkest moments, we'll find the light. We are stronger, we are brave. Together we can rise, no longer enslaved. With every heartbeat, with every stride, we'll conquer mountains with hope as our guide. Through the pain and sorrow, we learn to grow. Every step we take, the future starts to show. With dreams ignited, we'll chase the dawn. In this journey of life, we are reborn. We are stronger, we are brave. Together we can rise, no longer enslaved. With are stronger, we are brave. Together we can rise, no longer enslaved. With every heartbeat, with every we are stronger, we are brave. Together we can rise, no longer